In this video we're going to be applying a basic configuration to a Cisco wireless controller. This is just an introduction to Cisco's unified wireless solution. We're going to be using the 2504 model. Well, I'm going to be using the 2504 model to demonstrate some basic features to you. When you first get your controller out of the packaging and boot it up, you're going to need to plug into the serial ports and use a terminal emulation program. And press enter and you'll be greeted with an auto configuration script, auto install script, and it's going to ask you to enter a username. So we're just going to blast through this part until we get to the GUI part where the more interesting stuff is. So admin, you need to have a complex password, so alphanumeric with one number. I'm just going to use password 1 for capital P. Enable link aggregation, no. Well, you can use, if you're going to be using link aggregation, enable it. Management interface, IP address 192.168.100.10.245.252.192.168.100.1. VLAN identifier, we're not using VLANs. If you were using VLANs, you would put, you'd need to connect the controller to a trunk interface on your switch, and obviously enter the VLAN identifier 10, 20, 30, whatever your the trunk, you know, whatever you're trying to trunk, the VLAN you're trying to trunk over to the switch. So we're going to do untagged. We're not going to use VLANs. Management interface. There are 4 physical interfaces on the 2504. I'm going to use the first one. DHCP server IP address. It's going to be the same as my default gateway. The virtual gateway IP address is used for wireless mobility functions, DHCP relay within the controller. It's not significant at this stage, and I doubt if you're viewing this video for a basic configuration, you're not going to be configuring the virtual or worrying about the virtual gateway too much. So for now, we'll just call 1-to-1-to-1. And multicast IP address, this is a new addition, as well as the lag option in the 7.4 software. This is what my box is running. In older versions, you might not have some options that you see here. So I'm just going to configure this as 229.51. You can always change that, don't worry. Once we get into the GUI, I'll show you. Mobility RF root name, it doesn't really matter. For now, we'll just call it test. Network name, we're just going to call it test. We don't want DHCP bridging mode for now. Allow static IP addresses, yes. Configure radius server, no. And then enter your country list. Obviously, enter help if you don't know what your country is. I'm from United Kingdom, England, whatever, Great Britain. So, but they seem to use Great Britain. So GB. Enable way to yes. Yes, yes. Enable auto RF. So auto RF is going to be our feature, if you like, that is going to determine what channel the access points are going to go on, what power they're going to transmit at. It just works. It's just takes a few headaches away from your configuration. No, we don't want to do that. And yes, we should configure the system time. So it's 15th. American format, so it's going to be that, and it's going to be 21:33. Oh, missed seconds off. And the configuration is correct, and we will go, and it's going to reset. So I'm just going to pause the recording, and I'll see you back when the controller has loaded up again. Okay, so the controller's loaded now, and I typed our IP address, or our management IP address, into a web browser. I'm using Chrome. And what you'll notice is that I'm using HTTPS to manage the controller. By default, that's what the controller uses, so HTTPS 192.168.100.10, the address was set earlier. Depending on what browser you use, you might be greeted by a certificate error until you enroll with a CA, certificate authority, or generate a certificate that will persist. So we're just going to log in with our details we set earlier. And this is the home screen of the wireless controller. So you can see we've got a device view here. Up here we've got our how many access points are supported. So there's a 25 access point license installed on this one. You can see that port 1 is up. See that we're running 7.4 software, as I said before. System name, we'll change that. Internal temperatures, good one. Memory usage, and shows you individual core usage on the CPU. You've got your traps over the side here, and you've got your access point summary here. So at the moment we've got one access point associated to the controller. Okay, so what's our first step? Well, we've already created a SSID, so I guess that's where we'll go to first. So click WLAN at the top, and you'll be greeted by this screen. As you can see, we've got test, which we created earlier, but at the moment we're using WPA with 802.1x. We want to change that to WPA2 PSK rather. So just click the number 1, and so we can see that it's enabled. We're seeing that it's using our management interface, which is the interface we set up during the auto install, and we're broadcasting the SSID, but we're still using 802.1x. So we're going to security. We'll go to WPA, and we're already using WPA or WPA2. By ticking AES only forces the WPA2 forces the controller to use WPA2, and then what we're going to do down here is click PSK, which stands for pre-shared key, and then we're just going to type our network key. So this is the key that the host will enter from their devices, so an iPhone, laptop, whatever. So we're just going to do A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. As you know, a WPA2 key has to be, or a WPA key has to be at least 8 characters long. So we're just going to apply that. Okay. Simple as that. Simple as that. And if we wanted to create a second SSID, up here, create new, go. We'll call it test 2. Test 2, apply. As you can see, by default, the controller assumes 802.1x authentication, so we just need to go in again and change that to PSK and enter a network key. So let's go back to our WLANs page. Let's get rid of that so we can delete SSID by going over here with the blue arrow, click and remove. Okay. Okay, the next thing is then, so we've got this SSID. Let's go to manage our access points. So as you can see, we've got by clicking wireless at the top, the page defaults to the all APs screen, and we can see that we've got one AP associated to the controller. So at the moment it's using the AP MAC address as the name, or it's appended to, appended to AP. So if we go into that, click into that, that'll take us into our access point. And we can give our access point a name, so let's say it's a living room access point, or AP rather, living room. It's enabled. Enable mode is local. We want to keep that like that. What other options have we got in here? So you can see that the software that the access point is running, and we can set a static IP if we wanted to. So we could do 200. And before we do that, is there anything else I need to show you? Uptime, controller associated time. That's about it in there. Inventory is good. If you deploy a few access points on the network and someone else does it for you, say they go out and put access points out for you, it's a good idea for them to record the serial numbers, and then it's easier for you if you just come into wireless, come here, see all these access points. You can go here and see the serial number of the access point, and you can go, oh, that's the one in, the living room. Let's call that living room. So you see where I'm coming from there. I'll just give that a static IP, and that's just going to take our access point off. Oh, it's what I'll show you quickly. Advanced LED. Now I know there's some people who find the LED on the Cisco access point really annoying. So you can, by default, there's a global mode. There's a global setting for the LED. That is in wireless somewhere. It's in here somewhere. But you can come in here individually to each access point and turn off the LED. I suppose that's useful in residential deployments, not so much in enterprise. So let's go back, let's just review our settings. So we're just going to apply that, and the access point should go off for a few seconds just while it applies those settings. So yeah, it's disappeared, it's disassociated from the controller. That will come back up in a second. So global configuration, we can, so there's that LED option I was telling you about earlier. There's not much. The options here are quite advanced. I'm not really going to show you anything too advanced in this video. Network, if you wanted to control your network status for your AN, your 5 GHz, and then your 2.4 GHz, your BGN down here. You can change your data rates, your mandatory data rates. You could disable, enable. That's the basics in there. And so, if you wanted to upgrade the software on your controller, you can come in here, and actually no, it's not in there, it's in command, sorry, and you can download a file to controller. So this is sometimes quite confusing for people. You download the file, so download file might imply that you're going to download to your local PC or whatever, but it's not, it's downloading file to controller from to a TFTP FTP server. So keep that as that. Specify your TFTP server, file path, so your TFTP route, and then your file name, which is going to be something like that, CT500, well, whatever model controller you're using, then the software version, so 7.4 revision 100. And that's pretty much it. I mean, don't forget to save your configuration here. Save configuration. That's gonna hardwire it to the controller so that if you reboot it, it retains the configuration. What else can I show you? Monitor. Oh yeah, the multicast option. So to turn multicast on, so by default multicast is turned off in the controller. Just enable it here. Turn that on, and you can actually see what multicast groups you're a member of. I won't be a member of any. It's a basic flat network at the moment, so there's nothing really on it. You can come in here and see what multicast groups you're associated with. That's about it. I mean, if you've got any feedback for me, please leave it in the comments below. If you'd like to see any more videos on the wireless controller, I do plan to do a few more, but if you've got any specific requests, please let me know. Okay, thanks for watching.